to get back to that stunner from Stats Can. It was announced just moments ago. Merivale was here as the numbers came out from Statistics Canada on the jobs front. The Canadian economy added jobs, if you can believe it. It's 35,900 jobs added. Now, Merivale told us the street was talking about 50,000 jobs gone from the economy. Is your jaw dropping? Steve Jones is with the Association of Canadian Search, Employment and Staffing Services. He is with me in studio. Steve, your jaw isn't dropping. You were expecting this.
Well, we weren't expecting the increase in 36,000 jobs, but we were expecting the 8% number to remain flat. In the temporary staffing services world, we're usually 2 to 3 months ahead of these numbers, and we started to see our business flatten out across the industry back in February and March. So this is not totally surprising.
Statistics Canada released some of the numbers for various industries where there was growth, construction being one of them, tourism being another. What are the industries that you're suggesting for people who may be out of work now, and there are many Canadians who are, where they can start to look?
Well, it's also not surprising to see tourism and construction with a little bit of an uptick. I mean, they try to do adjustments in these statistics for seasonal adjustments, but these are industries that typically go up in the spring and summer months. So that's nothing surprising there. Over the course of the long term, I think we're going to see we're obviously going to see jobs in the health services sector. And continue to see jobs in the services sector. The manufacturing business, I think, is going to be a little slower to recover.
When you say in the future, do you mean the near future in healthcare, for example?
You know, people would have predicted that there would not have been a decline in employment in the health services sector, but this has been an insidious sort of permeation into every industry. So we've seen decreases in health services, but that's in the short term. I expect this summer and certainly by the fall we're going to see increases in health services.
And Steve, if you look across the country, is it the same kind of picture, or does it vary region by region?
Oh, it varies so much. Quebec, for example, has not been hit as hard. It's a bit more of a closed economy. They sell a lot and buy a lot from each other. Really great companies run out of Quebec, but more importantly, the Quebec government really understands how to bring together their issues about unemployment, labor, and job creation, and bring it all together in a holistic fashion. And we don't see that so much in Ontario. We see the Ministry of Labor and Economic Development often working in different directions.
What about out west?
Well, out west, you know, we've got two phenomenons happening there in Alberta. We're going to be 3 or 4 months behind the rest of the country in terms of...
Really?
Yeah, and the size, the magnitude of the mega projects in Alberta in the oil and gas sector usually takes a few more months to get offline, and certainly takes a lot more time to get back online again.
Right.
There's a lot of high quality, high paid contract work with 1, 2, and 3 year contract assignments on these projects. And so it takes a little bit of time to get those things going. So we're about 3 months behind, but we'll see that pick up with the oil prices this morning. We're going to see that pick up.
So if you are looking for work in that sector in the West, be patient. Is that what you're saying?
I think that's there's going to be work there for years and years to come. But again, probably the fall, we'll start to see some.
Can you give me some more tips for people who are looking for work? What should they be doing?
Sure. The first thing is, you know, people need to understand that your network of contacts is very, very important. And, you know, we're all drawn towards the job boards, and they're a fantastic way to find opportunities. But job boards work like search engines do, like Google. They match words, and there's not a person-to-person contact there. So the best way to find a job is person-to-person. And even if you do apply for a job on a job board, trying to find out who that person is and contact them to make it happen. And for students, you know, this is not going to affect students that much. The student jobs are the student jobs, and they're going to be the same kind of jobs that they applied for last summer and the summer before. So they got to keep their chin up and think positive, and don't use it as an excuse to stay home and to lay around the pool this summer.
Yeah, you know what? My son is 16. He was looking for a job, and then he went and fractured his hip a couple of days ago. So he's got the excuse to stay at home.
I'm sure he didn't do it intentionally.
I'm going to just say, no, he didn't do it intentionally. You're right, but he'll be doing a lot of reading this summer. Maybe he can find a job doing that. But how aggressive should one be in the follow-up? Because you don't want to tick off a possible employer, but you also don't want to sit back and wait for it to happen, right?
You know, as Canadians, we're always characterized as being so polite.
Yeah.
Passiveness doesn't really work well when you're looking for a job. There's a lot of competition out there. Competition means to be aggressive and to be assertive. You can do it in a polite and professional way. Too much is too much, but typically, you know, we don't go hard enough. Get that resume out there, follow up with a phone call, send a personal letter, Try again, leave a voicemail. Don't be obnoxious, but keep on going.
Resume, you mentioned the resume. Any tips for that?
Well, resumes, yeah, I think there's keywords. Keyword searches. Every sophisticated company has software that scans and parses the words out of a resume.
Yeah.
And then when they're looking for candidates, the software does the work first and it finds the words that match. So think about the words that are in the job description and ask yourself, are those words in my resume? And make sure that you describe yourself in the way that employers describe the job you're looking for, and that'll make the match.
Do you pump yourself up though, you know? I'm cool, I'm great, I'm a dude.
You know, it's really important that people don't get depressed. This is not about them. This is about the economy. Things are happening to us right now. We have no control over it. So we just have to live in that world and keep our chin up and keep on going. But a positive attitude will be the key to success. Nobody wants to hire somebody who's in a bad mood.
Yeah, you want that, the happy employee with the smile on their face. What about temporary staffing agencies? Say, you're on the search for a full-time job and you've done all the things you've talked about, tried to make personal contact, you send out your resume, all that kind of stuff, followed up. What about the temporary agencies? Where do they fit into the job market? This
is something that I know well. Somewhere between 45 and 65% of the people who work for temporary staffing companies will transition into full-time permanent career jobs. This is the largest pipeline to full-time employment for people right now. Contrary to what some people would like, the unions would like temporary staffing firms to not exist for obvious reasons. But the fact is that this is how people are finding jobs. There's a lack of visibility for employers out there. They don't know what's going to happen in 3 to 6 months from now. So when they start to see the first opportunity of an uptick, they're going to bring people on a temporary and a contract basis, and those are going to convert to full-time jobs. So look at temporary staffing companies. They'll protect you. They'll make sure that your rights are protected. They'll act as an agent. Every staffing company office has between 200 and 400 contacts as employers, and nobody else.
Network.
Absolutely.
Steve Jones, you are a wealth of information. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Great.